Leading Authentically 2.0, and this time we're going to be having a very unique speaker, and she's not an African, so she'll be speaking on how to be an authentic leader, and okay, and she's an executive coach. She's also the author of uh, a book called Align, and how leaders can be themselves. So we're going to send the link to her right now, and then you can join. Okay, so let's send the link so we can. Okay, so let's see. Okay, very good, perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And this is Leading Authentically 2.0. Thank you, Mr. Desmond. Okay, so we're going to be having Miss. Her name is quite very complex, so I need to be careful mentioning that name. So I'm going to send her the link right now, and then she's going to join us, and then we will begin right away. Okay. So my mom is around. Okay, so let me send her the link right now, and then we'll begin. Trying to. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so. Okay. Let me see. Okay, very good. She just joined us now, so we're going to actually start. Thanks so much, Ma, for joining. Okay, very good. Okay, very good, very good. Yeah. Okay, okay.
Hello.
Hello, I can see you. Sorry, technical
Is it
problem
morning or
here.
afternoon over there? Is it morning?
Yeah, yeah, it's one p.m., right? Yeah,
Okay, so that's good afternoon. Good
yeah, it's
afternoon. Good
afternoon. Good
afternoon.
afternoon. Good afternoon,
First,
Miracle.
I want to say thank you very much for accepting my invitation. Thank you so much. It's a great privilege to have you. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I am delighted to be here. So just give me just 1 second because I see that the picture is not. So I tried my best. I'm not very good at that. Okay, it's better maybe.
Okay,
I can see you
this
better.
is the okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to briefly introduce her. She's an executive coach and also the author of a book called Align. Just reading the profile about the book, I knew it was very powerful. So I knew we needed her to speak here live with us. And so the floor is yours. And then now she's speaking. Welcome.
Thank you. So, I'm delighted to be here. I'm ready to ask all the questions you want, and so I don't know where to begin. What are you interested in?
Okay. So let me start with the first question, which I believe the topic, the theme of the topic, which is how to be an authentic leader. So I saw your book. When I saw the book, I read the profile about your book and then comments about what people said about the book, and I knew it was very important. In such a time as this, we need books like this to help leaders become better and then learn to be themselves. So I knew I need to speak to you to send you a message, and I was really surprised you answered. So thank you so much once again. Okay, so we want you to tell us briefly about yourself, and then we'll go straight up to how can a leader be authentic.
Sure. So I am an executive leadership coach, as you said, and author of Aligned, and working on the second book, by the way. Um,
Wow.
I am working with CEO and C-suite, and I'm focusing on trying to close the gap between who you are today and who you want to be, who you meant to be. So I'm really focusing on the person because I believe that we really have to think as a leader of think at what do we want? Are we aligned? Are we sure what drives us? Everything like that. So I'm working on that. I'm working on the being the best version of yourself with those leaders. And I am what I'm doing also is so who I am now. So I'm living in New York. I don't know where to begin. I'm living in New York, and I since 2 years now, so it's pretty new. But I was an entrepreneur before, and I was, I had a long journey, in fact, because I'm not 20 anymore, and and so this journey can made me who I am today. So I begin by the beginning was I was a horse rider in France,
Wow.
and I competed there, and after I was passionate by America, by the US. It was all about the American dream. You can do everything, and you're free, the freedom of America. I went to school at Boston. I studied both in Boston and in Paris marketing, and I began my career in advertising agency, and
Wow.
later, in a magazine, working for a magazine, and I felt like I was, very far away from my dream at that moment,
Wow.
and I wanted to be an entrepreneur from the beginning. I wanted to make a difference. And so what I decided at that point was, okay, I'm going to, stop everything and begin and start again.
Hmm.
So, and from that moment, I began an entrepreneur, and for 10 years in the
Wow.
recycling steel industry. So nothing to do with what I learned before at school, in my education, but it made who I am today. And
Wow.
I learned absolutely everything there. And from there, after almost 10 years of entrepreneurship, I thought, okay, so what is the next step? And and in fact, it was more about my friends and everything, and my friends told me you should be a coach because you always want to help others, you're here for others. And in fact, it was I said to myself, no, I don't know what is a coach, what is a coach, you know and because a coach, you put a lot of things behind this word, right?
Hmm.
And so I said, okay, let's try, because a friend of mine asked me and said, I have a good friend of mine who needs you, so could you help him? I said, of course I'm going to help him, but I don't know if I'm going to be a coach, but let's try. And at that point, you know, at that point, I tried to play the game. I said, okay, maybe, we'll see if it goes my way. If I'm aligned with that, it's going to work. If it doesn't, it's not going to work. So, so we were there. I was very nervous, but at that point, I said, okay, let's try. And helping this person
Wow.
in 1 minute, I understood that it was my calling.
Wow.
And so this is how I began a coach. And from there, I decided, okay, of course, to be a full-time coach, executive leadership coach. And Marshall Goldsmith, who is, one of the Pape, let's say, of the leadership coaching, invited me to be part of his MG100
Wow.
person that is that, that represents him, let's say, in the world. It's
Wow.
part of his giving back, program. And so he urged me to write a book
Wow.
because in France, it's very different in France. You don't, when you are a coach, you don't speak that much. You don't speak at all, in fact. So and here in US, it's absolutely the contrary. People ask you question, are waiting, for your insight and everything. So it's a very, different mindset. So I wrote the book. And
Wow.
from there, you know, everything went very fast, and I had to move to New York, and to rebuild my life here. And here I
Wow. Well done. Well, that's very
am.
powerful. That's really powerful. That's a drastic change. Wow. Wow. Well done. So, um, we wanted you to actually tell us about what it means to be an authentic leader. How, in few words and in basic steps, with clarity, how can a young leader be authentic, especially when they find themselves in sectors where they don't feel like themselves, where they feel like there's not much of them to do. They don't feel like they're being themselves. How can they be authentic?
I would say that, you know, authenticity is you. So authenticity is, you don't negotiate with that.
Hmm.
So even, you know, if the situation is difficult, you know, the thing is, the secret, I think, is don't lose yourself. You don't lose who you are. So to be a leader, authentic, you have to know who you are first, because you have to begin by the beginning, right? So who are
Hmm.
you? And what kind of leader you want to be? What matters, you know, what difference do you want to make in the world? What drives you? So this is to be authentic. So you don't negotiate with that. And I would
Hmm.
never recommend to do things that hurt your values, even if it's to work.
Hmm.
Um, Even if, you know, at work you feel in a difficult situation, it's happened a lot.
Hmm.
This, think about it, you know, you really have to keep this authenticity. If you are not yourself, and if you have to fake or
Hmm.
do things that you don't like and hurt again your values, think twice. Maybe it's time to leave. So I think that, you know, the leader with authentic is really that kind of leader. So you have to be courageous to do it,
Hmm.
but I think it's very important.
Hmm. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know. This is really deep. You know, you said something about the fact that you need to be courageous to be authentic. And one of the challenges I've seen in the system of leadership here in Africa is the fact that, how will I put it now? The pressure from the crowd. How do young people or young leaders get to be themselves, especially find themselves in an environment or society where there's too much pressure not to be yourself because of it's sort of like, you know, when the crowd is doing all that is being done, you feel forced or you feel pressure to actually want to work with the crowd because of you don't want to feel indifference about it. So how can a young leader, beyond the fact that okay, there's too much pressure on the society on the outside to be that, to be this, how can they be true to themselves, even finding themselves in where you need to be like the crowd?
Okay. Again, I think about being authentic. You can you know, of course you have to be, you know, be in your environment and live in your life in the country or wherever, or where you have to live your life, but you still you can do with being authentic, being yourself. And so you know, if you want to adapt yourself to a situation, it's fine, but try, you know, as a young leader, try to really find what drives you, and not, you know, it's your true north, it's your alignment. Who you are is so important, Miracle, because
Hmm.
who you are is enough. Who
Hmm.
you are is great. Who you are is, you know, so important that if you forget it, you're going to lose anyway. You're going to
Hmm.
lose yourself. So if you lose yourself, you're not going to you'll be happy, and you cannot be the best version of yourself. So as a young person, it's sometimes difficult to and even not when you are not young, in fact, the balance between being enter the box and not entering the box. I get that. But imagine. So I'm going to take a picture. I think it's much better. As a young person or as a leader, because everyone is a leader. So you are the leader of your life, right, Miracle? And you are, the captain of your ship, right?
Yes.
And the ship right now is in the middle of a storm because we are living, so difficulties, so much difficulties now. It's so difficult. So you have to adapt yourself. It's not easy. In your ship, you have a crew. You have your family. If you're a leader, you have people and things like that. So how do you navigate that? Imagine again, you're this captain. If you're this captain, what the crew and others are waiting for you is to have your vision. Your very far away vision, your true north. You know where to go. We should go there. Are you going to go straight there? Not sure, because we have a lot of wind, and it can rain, and whatever is going to happen, you're not going to go straight there. But you know the direction. This is what I call the vision. And you, as young leader, it's the same. Think about that. Take time to reflect. Take time to think about, okay, what drives me? What is important for you? How do you want to be remembered, Miracle? I know you are young, so it's difficult to think about it and say, oh my gosh, I have a long time to go. Yes, of course. But if you begin to think about it now, and for example, I just, love this exercise. I know it's a little, bizarre, but I love to work on, okay, think about your funeral. And what do you want people to say about you? What do you want your friends, your colleagues, your family, and everything? So it's difficult again to do, and it's difficult to do when you're young, of course, because you cannot imagine that. And of course, I understand. But if the purpose is to have the whole picture of your life, and to understand that you are not only Miracle today, who is a coach and I don't know, maybe a boyfriend, a father, I don't know, but you are all that, right? You are not only the person that I see in this little screen at that moment. You are made of everything. Your thought, who you are, everything. So to go back to your question, think about not first determine your true north. Decide what is your true north, and from there, so be aligned. I mean, from there, think about how you can, match with the situation. What part can match to, make you moving forward to your vision. What is, it's complicated when we talk about not a fixed, very fixed situation. Maybe you have something in mind. Maybe, okay, try to express maybe more.
Okay. So let me put it this way. Okay, I think geographically in Africa, in Nigeria, where I am now, we sort of have, so let's say there's a trend going on, and this trend is it doesn't align with your values. But at the same time, because of everyone is doing it, and the pressure of the fact that everyone's doing it, it is making you shift away from your true self. And now young people are asking the question, how do I get to still stick to my values even when I find that there's so much pressure to actually move with the crowd when it doesn't actually correlate with my values?
Okay, so if I understand well, the situation is your environment in Nigeria puts you in a way that you have to do something, and
Yeah,
you don't know, and you feel that it's not good for you. Is it that you
exactly.
have in mind? Okay.
Yes, yes.
And is it, and do you feel like it's not at all good for you, or do you think that maybe a little piece could be good? Because in good you always have bad. So if I, so and you know, and the reverse. So um so the question is, do you think you can find a, at least one thing that can match with your value or what you
Hmm,
like?
yes, 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 exactly.
Yes,
Yes,
you
yes.
can. Yes, you can. Okay. So if you can, what you do is focus on that.
Hmm,
Only focus on that. And change, in fact, the situation in your mind and said, okay, if I do that, I don't agree with 100%, but if I do that, and if I keep to stay myself, you know,
hmm,
stick to my values, let's do it. So you change, in fact, you know, it's really a switch, a mind shift, in fact, on,
yeah.
okay, let's focus on what's good. Let's focus on that point, and let's see what happens. But again, I come back always to the same story. But again, I could not, recommend to lose your authenticity, who you are.
Hmm,
I couldn't, but you can do it. I'm sure you can do it. Maybe, it needs to to think about it.
exactly.
If it's a situation you have to face, because you cannot, because in Africa you cannot, or in Nigeria you cannot do something else. So if you have to face it, okay, try again. Look at it with another, put another glasses and say, and see, what you could do to, or what could help you. Let's say differently, what could help you
Out of it.
to
Wow.
reach your purpose, your vision, or at least, to step, to move forward, to have to go to the next step, let's say.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. That's very cool. So I have some questions here, a few questions before we end this. Are you an executive coach and then you're the author of the book, Align? How important, how important is finding alignment is? What is very important about it?
Say it again, sorry, I don't get it.
And how important is finding your alignment to being our most authentic self? How is it
Oh,
important?
how it is important, it's the starting point. It's the starting point. If you don't begin by yourself, if you are not clear on what drives you, who you are, what kind of leader you want to be, what difference you want to make, and what kind of leader, how you want to interact with people. If you're not clear on yourself, you cannot be clear with others.
Hmm.
So it's always the
Cannot.
same story. I If you don't know yourself, if you don't know what drives you, if you don't know why you're here, it's going to be complicated, to be a good leader and to make and others include and others and try to make them evolve and included. And moreover, today, the world is changing, is moving. It's over. The old world is absolutely over. So we need a new leader, as we said just before, in this ship, now the leaders are in this ship. So you cannot say as a leader that you have all the answers. That's not true. So we
True.
don't need that anymore. We don't need that. We're not waiting for that anymore. The teams and everyone, nobody's waiting for that, because it's somewhere. Who is so clever that is going to know if the virus is coming back, And what is going to happen next in 2 months or 3 months or 1 year, we don't know. It's not written anywhere. So, it's, a question of balance between this right brain and this left brain. So right brain is, what our education is the rational about. And the other one, the right brain is all about innovation, is about the vision, is about feeling, is about connecting with people. And it's all together as a leader that we are going to go through this storm. And of course, again, the leader is this captain with his vision, but it's all together with the crew, with all the company, the person that they lead, that they are going to go somewhere. So what they have to do is to make this what I call the alignment of alignments with us, because it's everyone that have to find this purpose, this alignment. Why I'm here? I'm here because, and you have to answer this question. And as a leader, you have to help them, to find.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I'm so sorry about that. There's a problem with the network. So the other question I wanted to ask you is, which I believe everyone would want to know about, is how did you find your alignment?
Oh, it could be a journey. It's every day that you have to think about it. But I will say that it's a journey. It's difficult. Questions. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I don't know where I lost you.
Yeah, you said it's a journey.
Okay.
Yeah, you said it's a journey.
It's a
journey.
Yeah. So it's a journey. It's a journey, and you start by what we said before. Reflect and think about, to answer the questions. Who are you? What drives you? What is important for you? What are your values? And what person you want to be? So this is all those questions. So after, how you find it is, it's not easy to answer this question like that, and especially when you are young. But at least you can come back to your dream when you were youngest, and when you're very, 7 maybe, you're right. And what did you say to yourself? And it's going to give you a clue, because when we are young, we have plenty of hope and dream that sometimes, unfortunately, we lost. So, and it's really this journey, in fact. And maybe it's going to change during your journey. So between now and between 10 years from now, we don't know.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So the other question is, what advice can you give to, which I believe interchangeably you've actually answered that. So this is a question I believe every young person in Africa we're actually experiencing. And you've had so much, you've sat with coaches, you've coached different leaders globally and everywhere. What's that one thing in your heart you would want a young person to know about? Let's say something you want young leaders of this generation, the next generation to come to actually understand about leadership.
Yeah. First, listen to your intuition. If you don't know, don't try to find, the answer with your rational mind. Just listen to you, to your intuition. Take time to reflect, and take time to reflect, because sometimes you have too much noise around you. People are telling you what to do and things like that. Try to listen to your intuition, and you will find the way for you. And I would like to add that you young people are so important, and you are, think about it, you are enough. Don't think tomorrow will be good. No, you are enough, and you can make it, and the world needs you because you are shaped for that, you know. So really, don't lose time to think about, I cannot do it, I'm not clever enough, I don't know how to do it. Just believe in it. Believe in it, you know. Believe it, you can make you can make it, and you can make this difference in the world, and you will. And you will. And don't forget to go back to yourself each time.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. I'm very, very grateful. Really, really, I don't know. I'm really glad to have you here. It's a great privilege. And so before we let you go, we sort of want you to actually give in few words, let's say about maybe 5 words or 6 words, but let's say in few words.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell global leaders all over the world about what it means to be authentic in wherever sector they find themselves? In few words.
To be authentic is to be the best version of yourself.
To be authentic is to be the best version of yourself. Perfect. Okay.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. To be authentic is to be the best version of yourself. Thank you so much, Coach. I'm really grateful. It's a great privilege to have you here. And then we hope to have you one day, maybe physically, we could have you here in Africa to help
I
our
would
young
love to.
leaders, you know. Thank you so much.
I would
Thank you
love
so much.
to.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Miracle. Take care.
Okay.
Take care.
Yeah, take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you.